Okay. Southcoast Climate Reality acknowledges Indigenous peoples as the traditional stewards of the land and the enduring relationship that exists between them and their traditional territories. The land on which we sit tonight is the traditional unceded territory of the Wampanoag Nation. We acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced occupation of their territory, and we honor and respect the many diverse Indigenous people connected from time immemorial to this land on which we gather. All right, so I'm going to add the agenda back into the chat again for anybody who's new, and feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. We're so glad everyone's here tonight, and we want to get right to it. So want to report out on some of our campaigns. The first is a report on our 100% committed campaign. Ann, Richard, and I decided the last 3 weeks of August, we were going to try to convince as many businesses as possible in Fairhaven to go 100%. And so we've talked to a number of people. Since the middle of August, we've signed 3 businesses, none of which are in Fairhaven, so I don't know how that happened, but we signed the Cocktail Guru, which is in Dartmouth, nationwide business, but based in Dartmouth. We signed Farm and Coast, also in Dartmouth. And then we also signed the Art Lab, which is a mobile art lab that does birthday parties. Sorry, that was my reminder to record this. And we have several businesses and organizations, however, that are still thinking about the 100% committed. So we're hoping to have about 5 more businesses in the next few weeks sign up for this. And anybody else who wants to help sign businesses up for the 100% committed is welcome to talk to either myself or Ann Richard. And we'd love to walk you through it. It's really not hard. And actually Megan Pogash was the one to sign up the Farm and Coast Market. So we now have 3 people who have done the 100% committed ask, and it's just getting better. So that's the update on that. The legislation update, we are hosting an event with the UU Church of Fairhaven on September 22nd. And this is about the Green Future Act here in Massachusetts. If you don't know about the Green Future Act, basically it is an act that would tax polluters and then take that money to spend it on green infrastructure. And you can find more at the link that I just put in the chat. And Carrie Catan, who's from Fairhaven, is one of the lead organizers on this, and she is going to present to us about why this legislation is so important. And I put something about it on our website under meetings. So, and I'll put it on our Facebook page as well, but we really want to promote this event. And then the action step from that event is going to be a phone bank where we call people to get them to call their representatives about this, because we so far have about 66 representatives in Massachusetts that are co-sponsoring the bill, and we need more. From what I understand, there's a certain number of, really only one bill has a chance each year on climate, and Carrie has a feeling that this is the bill that really could make it this year, especially since it has a funding formula, which is super important. So the fact that it funds itself makes it very likely to get passed. And it will also help fund the most recent climate bill that passed in Mass too. So we're gonna hopefully push for that bill. So that's what I have on the legislation update for that, but we're gonna hear more about how we can influence legislation in a minute from Brett. Also want to mention upcoming visibility opportunities. We have Kids Fest coming up on October 9th, which is in Fairhaven, and I'm really excited about this. It's something that's going to happen right next to the high school in Fairhaven. It's totally free, and we are going to have a big white parachute there, and our friend Benares is painting climate legislation now on it, and then kids can put their handprints on the parachute with their name inside of it. And we'll have a big, beautiful parachute that we can use at demonstrations and rallies and things like that. And then the other thing we're going to do is have kids write letters or draw pictures about why they want climate legislation, and then send that to our representatives, whether it be state or federal. And we'll be giving away free reusable straws. And I also have a really big, beautiful book, brand new, that I reviewed for a blog that we're going to raffle off. So lots of exciting stuff happening at our table. We're probably going to get a big crowd because there's a lot of vendors that'll be there, and there's going to be a Halloween swap table from the sustainability committee. So it's going to be a really fun event. So if anyone is free on October 9th and wants to hang out outside, hopefully in the sunshine, with Mary Lou and I, that's all we have so far. I'm going to put the task sign up in the chat if you want to sign up on that Google Doc. It should be a fun day. And even if you can just come for an hour, that would be amazing. We get to hang out in person, masked, of course, outside with some kids, which sounds really fun to me. Any questions about any of that so far? All right, I want to mention that acts of leadership. Brett is going to show us how it is so much easier to record our acts of leadership using the Climate Action Now app. Hopefully that's in the presentation. If it's not, I'll talk about it, but you don't have to go on Reality Hub ever again. I know it's a pain in the butt for some of us. So now you'll be able to do it straight from your phone. When you have done an act of leadership, you can just hit the little search button at the bottom of the app, and it's very easy to record. I've been recording mine as soon as they happen. It's no problem. And remember that anytime you do something, go to an event, coming to this meeting, sending a tweet, sending an email, calling a rep, all of those are acts of leadership if you are a climate reality leader. And then I just wanted to briefly mention that we have lots of other events coming up. I've put them in our email, but two in particular that I really want to mention: beach cleanup at West Beach in New Bedford on September 25th at 10 a.m. with the fabulous Mary Lou Nicholson. And so if you have people in your life who would be interested in service opportunity like that and the hours, we'd love to have you there. We'll have a letter writing opportunity there as well. And then the second is I Am Greta will be at the Z on the 28th, and they're going to have student speakers, and we have a student from our group who will be speaking as well. So we hope that some of you will make it to that event too. All right, any questions about anything we said so far? All right, good. I want to be able to give some time to lots of time to Brett to talk about the Climate Action Now app. So I have made it so you can share your screen, Brett. So go ahead whenever you are ready.
Okay. Hi. Well, thank you, Laura, for the introduction. I will try to be as efficient and organized as you are with my remarks. And as for the 2 or 3 of you who are going to do that event together, I'd like to remind you, Greta Thunberg sat out in front of the Swedish parliament by herself, you know, for many weeks before people started joining her. So she's a great inspiration. My name is Brett Walter. I'm the founder and CEO of a little company called Climate Action Now. I'm also a climate reality leader. I was trained in Pittsburgh in 2017. I'm also a career software developer out here in Silicon Valley. And so when Trump took us out of the Paris Agreement, that was kind of the final straw for me. And I thought to myself, I've got to do something more than what I have been doing. And so it occurred to me, you know, we all have these little supercomputers in our pockets, and we use them for just about everything except taking climate action. And so I thought, well, what could I make an app that would make it really, really easy for people to take climate action on their phones? By the way, one of my head of content has just joined us, Matthew Volrath. He's down there muted. He's out in space right now in the International Space Station. So I connected up with Ken Berlin early on, pre-pandemic, and showed him what I was doing. He was really, in case you don't know, Ken Berlin is the CEO of the Climate Reality Project. He was very interested in what I was doing, and we decided to collaborate. We finished developing the app. We recently completed a pilot test with the Hudson Valley, Chicago, and Atlanta chapters, in which climate reality leaders ended up taking 28 more acts of leadership with the app than they had historically done without the app. So we compared what those people had done before they got the app and what they did after they got the app. And there was a 28-fold increase in their activity. And as Laura mentioned, one of the benefits of the app for you folks is that, for those of you who are trained climate reality leaders, is that the app will automatically record for you not all of your acts of leadership, but specifically your contact influencer acts of leadership. In other words, it will record a few things that you can actually do with the phone. If you go and you give a presentation somewhere, obviously the app doesn't know that. You'll still have to record that manually, but the app does give you a really easy way to do that. And I'll show you that here in a second. So let me just get right into give you a little demo here of how it works. And hopefully I'm okay. Are you all seeing my phone screen right now?
Mm-hmm. Looks good.
Okay, outstanding. And the way the app is organized is it's a series of action cards, and you just swipe through it to get an action. And if you, and there's these also these kind of little flashcards with interesting facts about things. A big part of the app, though, is really about advocacy. And starting out cold turkey with the app, I was looking for historic action. Let me.
I'd have to search for it.
Yeah, the first action that comes up typically, unless your chapter has created actions for you, is this one. Tell your U.S. representative we need historic climate action now. Okay, and there's a little button down here in the corner called Why. You can turn that over, and you can find out why that's important. And that may also have sources of information. And you can see who else is who has taken this action. And that's a lot of people, obviously. And then you can just touch the Do It Now button. Here's part of the power of the app. The app will automatically look up your representative based on your address. Now, I had previously entered my address, so that's how the app knows to get this. The very first and only time that you go to take an action, the app will ask you for your address. And then once you've given it your address, then it knows from that point forward, and it will automatically look up not only your federal representatives, but also your state. And okay, so, all right, so in this case, I'm given 3 ways that I can contact my representative, who is in fact Anna Eshu. I can press the call button here, and it will give me talking points for my conversation with Representative Eshu. And I can just push the call now button, and up comes her phone number. I touch that. Now I'm actually calling my representative. I'm going to hang up. My other options are I can email her. And I just touch the email button. And here you see the email. I want to point out that this email has been personalized. You didn't see me type anything, right? I had previously personalized it with this sentence. I'm a father who fears for my family in a warming world. And you can personalize it with any sentence that you want. And we encourage you to do this because, you know, when your representative staff or the representative himself, herself, they probably won't read the email, but when of their staffers read the email, they'll know right away this is not purely a boilerplate message, that this is actually from a real human being, and that gives it more prominence. So I can do that, and then to simply send the email, I can just press the send button. And now I've just earned 100 points, and I just sent this email to my representative. And as you can see, it took me like 3 touches and 10 seconds, you know, to contact my representative. Now it asked me, would I like to contact my senators as well? Okay, here's my senator. In this case, I'm going to tweet her. And again, there's boilerplate. And again, it's personalized. It knows my city. So it says, I'm a voter in Redwood City. We need historic action now, blah, blah, blah. And I send tweet. It launches the Twitter app on my phone, and it's been sent. Okay, I just tweeted Senator Feinstein, and now I come back, I say I sent the tweet, and I just got another 100 points, and I can go to my other senator right now. I generally kind of prefer tweeting, and also if it's a really important ask, I make a phone call. I don't do so much email, but I like the tweeting because unlike a phone call and an email, tweeting is public. And what may even happen in this demo here is somebody may like my tweets, which will give them much bigger play out in social media land. Okay, and now every day you can earn up to 1,000 points towards a real tree. And when you've earned 3,000 tree points, we'll actually plant a real tree for you. And we don't plant it ourselves, obviously. We're partnered with a nonprofit called the Eden Reforestation Projects. And so we pay them to go and plant that tree. And then the app is saying, congratulations, you've taken 10 actions. I've done stuff earlier in the day, and I can just keep going. It batches them up 5 at a time. We're doing a big push now. I really want to emphasize this for budget reconciliation. And as you probably know, the different committees, now see, somebody's now started following me. I'll tell you about that in a second. Are actually working on the budget reconciliation legislation. And so we're hitting them with everything we've got. And we batch them up into batches of 3. So I'll show you how that works. So tell the 6 batch of the transportation infrastructure members to craft a bold planet saving budget reconciliation. I'm going to say do it now. Here's Donald Payne. He's not my representative, but he's writing legislation that affects all of us. So I claim we've got a fair shot at him. I'm going to tweet Donald. And we even can include, in some of the tweets, include maps. And he can go and see the Yale Climate Opinion Study, which tells him that, you know, people support this. And so I just sent a tweet out to him. Shouldn't take this long. And then, as you can see, it's going to bring up the other two other of the representatives on that committee. I got 50 points for that. I'm going to go out to him, and then I send another tweet off to that gentleman, and then we'll do a third one. And we have over 400 actions in the app targeting legislators to take to write bold climate legislation. Okay, right there in the app. And yesterday, I don't know, anybody here participate in the tweet storm yesterday? Okay, Laura was there. Okay. Our little group of app users sent out over 2,100 tweets in the space of an hour. And as part of the national tweet storm, we got over 8 million views in Twitter accounts with the various tweets that were put out in Twitter. Now, I know a lot of you hate social media. I don't use my Twitter account for anything other than simply sending app tweets, right? I don't. And just yesterday, by sending these tweets, I picked up 20 followers. So people are out there. When you tweet, people are out there. They're paying attention. Okay, and then one more, and then I'll stop talking about this. I want to show you another. Okay, that tweet got sent very fast. Now there's another feature here, which down here in the bottom corner, it says community. I'm going to touch that. And okay, look, here it is. Somebody saw my tweet to Senator Feinstein and they liked it.
That was me just now with the climate
Oh,
action
that was
account.
you? That's cheating, Matthew. Don't do that. Or if you do it, don't fess up to it. Okay. So here you can see also in the last minute, this Michael Deck, I know, is another climate reality leader. He told another representative member to do that. I can come in, I'm going to like what he just did. And the social research shows that social approval, as we all know, is a big driver of behavior, right? And so what you'll see when you come into the community, every time you complete an action in the app, it gets posted. The fact that you did it gets posted in the community feed. And then other people can see that, they can like it, as you just saw me do, and they can repost it, you know, to the, like if I go to, I can share this with my own social media. So this gives us network effects. Okay. Todd Weber he's actually with Elders Climate Action. I don't know if any of you are Elders Climate Action. He's head of the NorCal chapter in California, where I am. Okay, and so on. So those are kind of the highlights from the app. Now, Laura mentioned that you can, the app will automatically record your acts of leadership, and specifically when you contact an influencer. Is anybody else on the call, besides Laura, actually have the app at this point? We're not, I mean, if you could do like a thumbs up. Okay, Mary Lou, I think I recognize you. Have we met before? Yeah, okay. Mary Lou has the app, Deirdre Healy does, and I guess maybe three of you.
I just downloaded it, so I have it now too.
Okay,
Yeah,
Megan,
everybody
great.
should download it. Go ahead and download
Yeah,
it now.
Just set it up.
Yeah,
It's super easy.
let's do it. That would be kind of fun if everybody pull out your phone. I'll role model this for you.
Yeah.
I'm on an iPhone. You just go on your phone. I'm going to push the App Store icon, and then I'm going to touch the search button, and all you do is type in climate action. Oh, came up right there, climate action now.
And I just put something in the chat, but in order for us to get points for this as the Southcoast chapter, make sure when you add it that you go to the 3 lines in the top left corner, hit settings, and put in your invitation code as 122.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that more, but we are going to compete with the Boston chapter. And I totally think we can win. So just so you know.
Yeah, and if you are getting it for the first time, it should actually ask you as part of the setup process for that invitation code, and just make sure you say yes and enter, as Laura said, 122. That's your magic number.
Yeah, as Matthew said, but if you miss it, you can still go to the hamburger menu. That's these 3 bars up here, and touch that, and then you'll see there's a settings. So sorry, a settings selection. And I'm going to touch that. And then you'll see here, it asks for your invitation code. And your invitation code, as Laura said, is 122. And it says say okay. And you'll know that the app knows who you are because it'll say, welcome, you've been invited to use this app by the Climate Rally Project Massachusetts Southcoast chapter. And then you can come down here and say, okay. And now the next thing the app will do automatically the first time, it'll then prompt you for your Reality Hub ID number.
Mhm.
Now, it can't record your acts of leadership if it doesn't know that you are a bona fide climate rally leader, which it knows by your Reality Hub ID number. Now, I'm going to show you, or do you
Wait,
happen to have a
Laura
list of-
already has given them out, it sounds like.
Okay, you all have your Hub ID numbers?
If
Okay,
anybody
so-
doesn't get it, message me in the chat and I'll get it to you. But I sent out most everybody's already.
Super.
Okay, so those are just two numbers that you have to enter in order to be in the competition with the Boston chapter and to also have your contact influence or acts of leadership automatically recorded for you, right? 122 says you're in the chapter, and then your Reality Hub to track your acts of leadership. Now, let me just say one thing about the acts of leadership. You will not see them in the Reality Hub. They are actually being, at Climate Reality's request, they're being recorded in their Salesforce account, which is where they actually have their official database of record. When you put stuff in the hub, every week it then gets imported into Salesforce. So and it doesn't go the other direction, so you won't see it back in there, but you are getting credit for those actions. And when Laura gets her monthly reports from Climate Reality telling them how many actions you people have taken, those will be counted in those tallies. Okay, so let me shut up and see if anybody has any questions for me. Nope. Okay. Has anybody been able to download the app while we've been talking? I mean, besides Megan?
I wanted to share something else, which is that we can make our own actions. So if anybody has something that they want, like a state bill, they want to promote and have people call their reps about, or if there's some event coming up that you want to get more people to, we can make an action related to that. I made a Southcoast specific action to contact your rep about the Green Future Act. And it wasn't that hard. I just, had to have the email, information, like what did you want an email to look like? What would you want a phone call to look like? And I actually had Carrie from the Green Future Now group make that for me. So, and there it is. There's our, yes, an action related to no idling. Yes, Evan. And no idling has been on my mind a lot lately because I don't know if you guys saw, but New Bedford is being sued by the Attorney General for their, or not New Bedford, but the bus company is being sued for their buses idling too much. And they're going to have to pay $100,000 to like Buttonwood Park to then plant trees to counteract the asthma that kids are, going to have from all this idling. And I just can't help but think that we need to take some sort of action, something more for the bridge, because I kept putting those no idling signs on the Fairhaven New Bedford Bridge and they kept getting stolen. And I'm very tempted to, stand outside with a gas mask on, but I think maybe better is to, have people take the action that they're going to promise to not idle and tell 5 friends to not idle on the bridge. And here's why. And also maybe call New Bedford city councilors and ask them if maybe they can put up signs, like permanent signs. So if anybody else wants to help me with that, let me know in the chat, but that's a personal mission of mine. Yeah,
So
be like the bus system, don't idle too much. I like that.
What the app will do, when you guys put your own actions in, it will give priority because the app knows that you're in the Southcoast chapter, it will put your actions up at the front of the action carousel. Okay, so if you want to target the city mayor or the city council of a particular city, and you can actually create actions targeting those people and make it easier for all of you to contact those elected officials. I want to show you here, I'm going into, I press the compete tab at the bottom, and you can see there's a competition going on here between the Hudson Valley chapter and the New York Capital chapter. And whoa, they're neck and neck. This is showing average daily points per team member. And I can swipe and I can see the average daily actions per team member. And I can see the average trees earned per team member. And there should be an action in here, a rivalry in here for you folks. Is it in here, Matthew?
It should be. Hopefully they won't have as many to,
Well,
to
I
sort
certainly
through.
I certainly
Does
belong
anybody-
to a lot of
Yeah.
I belong to a lot of chapters in here. You won't see
anybody-
all of these.
Yeah. Does anybody who entered the code today who just got the app, do any of you see the rivalry? Should be Southcoast versus Boston. Anybody have that? Or there might be some glitch with it to fix.
Okay, well, let's check that out afterwards, Matt. I'm not seeing it in there.
I did want to mention that if anybody doesn't have a Reality Hub ID because you haven't done the training, there is a training in October, and it's not too late to sign up. It's completely free and all online, and I highly recommend it. I'll be mentoring at it. I don't know if anybody else is planning to mentor from this group.
Okay, and then also in the app, there's a section. Oh, that's because I've got the green in there. There's a section in project right here, Climate Reality Project Acts of Leadership. So this is for all the other acts of leadership, like giving a presentation. You can come and, like if you want to record a past presentation, and you can just do this. You have to sign in the first time, but then it will remember that. So it's very easy and very fast to come in the app to just come in and record your other acts of leadership, by doing that.
What's the name of the app, please?
Climate Action Now. Thanks for following me, Megan. And I'm going to go, Climate Action Now is the name of the app. And there's Megan. And I'm going to follow her. So what that means is that when she takes an action, I'll see that in the community feed. And when I take an action, she'll see the fact that I took the action in the community feed, and we can give each other a thumbs up, right? And we can then, we can comment on each other's posts. So the Climate Reality Project is in the process of hiring a consultant to push out the app to the entire Climate Reality leader organization in the United States, starting with the chapters. And I can tell you that in the 3 months that these a few handful of chapters have been using the app, they've taken I'm going to show you reality. Yeah, let me show you this. This might be a bit. Any number of people like reports and numbers. I'll show you one. So in the 3 months or so that Chicago, Hudson Valley, and Atlanta, they got started. So they've been in there the longest. Most of these other groups have just started up recently, but they have so far recorded 17,446 acts of leadership in just 3 months. And that was just 206 people versus the entire Climate Rally organization in an entire year last year did 50,000. So we've already done 200 people did a third as many acts of leadership as the entire leadership organization recorded in the entire last year. So you can see how this tool is really, hi Deirdre, is really powerful and makes you so much more productive. So if you're out there, looking for an opportunity to kind of amplify your voice, I mean, this is really a great way to go. Okay, cool. Well, that's the presentation. Unless anybody has any more questions, I'll hand it back over to Laura. I look forward to seeing you in the app.
Brett, thank you so much. And thank you, Matthew, for coming. This is awesome. I am really excited about the app. I've been using it for a little while. I don't think I had my invite code in there. So anyway, I'm really excited for our chapter to start using this. And I did record this, so we'll be able to send this out to the people who weren't able to make it tonight. And can you explain, it's not the number of actions our chapter takes versus the number of actions the Boston chapter takes. Matthew, can you explain maybe how that works?
Yeah, it's the average. So the average number of actions and points that you guys are taking versus the average number of points that they're taking. And the reason we do that is sometimes, sub chapters will be really big. And if we just did an aggregate, then they would just run away with it, right? And we want to make sure it stays competitive, give you guys credit for the good work that you're doing, even, if one chapter is a little smaller than the other. But in your case, I think you have a comparable number of people probably on the app. They have about, 10 or 20 as well, so.
Okay.
Okay, well, good luck. And the other thing I'll show you is in the upper, oh, you're not showing you my screen anymore, am I? One more thing I'll show you. This is a relatively new app, so it's not perfect. You may encounter glitches from time to time, and if you do, we would sure appreciate it. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah, you muted for a second, but we do see your screen.
Are you seeing my phone screen?
Yes.
Okay, good, because it's not. So in the upper right corner, there's that little hamburger menu. You can go up there and touch report a problem. And then it will launch an email, which you can then send to us, if you find something that, we need to know about. All right, cool.
Great.
Go crazy.
All right. Oh, and one last thing. Notifications and encouraging people to use it every day.
Yes. Thank you so much for reminding us of that. Everybody, this is so important. With every app with every app on your phone, usually when you start it the first time, the app doesn't ask you, it's actually the Apple operating system asks you if you're willing to get notifications. And I know all of you, you immediately say no, right? Because you're just sick and tired of all these notifications. Don't do that. Don't do that. Say yes. And that's important because we're not going to have, you'll get 2 or 3 notifications a day at tops, right? But the most important ones, you'll get an action of the day. And just like everybody, you're busy, you have busy lives, you get distracted, you forget. And that one little action of the day, the reminder, the notification you get, that can bring you back into the app. You'll do 5 or 10 things, boom, you've done your bit for the day. So that's really important that you get the notifications. And you'll also get, and you can, in the settings here, you'll see there's different notifications. You can turn off whichever ones you want see, I've turned off the rivalry updates. So there's that once a week, there'll be an update notification that says whether you or the Boston chapter is winning that rivalry. So, and there's other things there that you can turn off or on. However, but please do, the most important one is the action of the day. Because that's what will kind of bring you back into the app every day. Okay. I will surrender the screen. Thank you for bringing that up, Laura. That's a really important point. Okay, do you want us to hang around, Laura? Or should we kind of get out of your hair and let you guys finish your business?
It's completely up to you, but we really enjoyed having you. Thank you so much for this app and for showing us how to use it effectively. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Was anybody about to ask a question? No. Okay. Well, thank you all. It's so great to meet all of you. I went to college in Massachusetts, so I spent 4 years out there. Loved every bit up in the northwest corner of the state. So really great to be involved with all of you. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.